Hi friends, this is Mrs. Obringer and I'm going to read you the story called Silver Packages. This is by Cynthia Ryland. She is a very well-known author. She wrote all of the Henry and Mudge books and she wrote Poppleton. She's written so many books and she's really one of my favorites. This is a story about the place where she grew up. She grew up in West Virginia in an area called Appalachia. And this is all about a train that would come through Appalachia. So it's called Silver Packages. A train comes through Appalachia every year at Christmas time. And though it doesn't have antlers, nor does the man standing on its rear platform have a long white beard, it may as well be Santa Claus and his sleigh for all the excitement that it stirs up. People call it the Christmas train, and it has been coming to them for years. Each new child in the mountains learns to walk, talk, and wait for the Christmas train. It is everyone's delight. The older people remember its beginning. They tell of a rich man who had come traveling through the hills by car many years back. No one knows why he came up from the hills, but why isn't important. What matters is that it happened. The man had an accident. His car just took itself right over the side of the ridge, and the man slumped in that car, hurting and scared. Someone came along. Some say it was old Mr. Crookshank, but others say it was Betty Pritt. But who came along isn't important either. Whoever it was pulled that rich man out of the car and took him to a house in the hills where he was nursed and cared for until he could make it out on his own. When he left, the rich man tried to give money to the people who had helped him, but they would not accept it. So that rich man left the mountains, feeling that he owed a great debt to those people. And for the remaining years of his life, he would repay this debt by choosing the Christmas train he would bring into the hills each December. On the 23rd, everybody knows it, the train will slowly wind up and around the mountains, and on the platform of its caboose will stand that rich man in his blue wool coat. He will toss a sparkling silver package into the hands of each child who waits beside the tracks, and for some, it'll be the only present they receive. So, the train is awfully important. I think the pictures are really pretty in this book too. One year, a boy named Frankie stands beside those tracks and waits for the Christmas train. It's very cold and a lot of snow has come down the night before. Frankie's shoes are thin and his feet hurt badly from the cold, but he is determined to wait, even if his feet and all the rest of him become frozen. Now, this particular boy wants a particular present. Not just any present tossed from the back of the train. A particular present. A doctor kit. He's been waiting for it beside the tracks. The train comes through finally, noisy and steaming and scary. It's so big, but everyone loves to see it, and they cheer and they clap, and some of the mothers even weep to see it coming. Frankie stands there at the tracks, praying for a doctor kit, till he sees the caboose slowly coming up. And when it's just past his nose, he shouts and waves and runs after the train. His icy feet are aching. From the rear platform, the rich man in the wool coat sees him. "Merry Christmas," he calls, and he tosses into Frankie's hands a sparkling silver package. Frankie stops running. He's out of breath, so he can't yell a thank you. He can only hold tight to his gift and wave to the man and the train, disappearing into the mountains. Do you think he got his doctor kit? Let's see. Look what he's got there. Don't look like a doctor kit to me. Frankie carries his package home, and he puts his own name on it and sets it under the family Christmas tree. On Christmas morning, he opens it. It isn't a doctor kit. It's a cowboy holster and 3 pair of thick red socks. Frankie looks at his mother and his father and his brothers and his sisters, and he tries not to cry. You think he feels disappointed? I do. He wears the socks all winter, and he plays with the cowboy set all year, but he still dreams of that doctor kit. The next Christmas, Frankie waits again in the cold for the Christmas train. The socks still fit him, and his feet are nice and warm, but his fingers are cold and hurting. He waits at the tracks, and he prays for a doctor's kit. The train comes, and the rich man tosses the silver package. Think he's going to get it this year? And on Christmas morning, Frankie opens it. No. It's a little police car with lights that really work, plus 2 pairs of brown mittens. Frankie doesn't cry. He wears the mittens all winter, and he plays with the car all year. But he still dreams of that doctor kit. Frankie waits 3 more years for that doctor kit. It never comes. He gets trucks and balls and games. He gets mittens and socks and hats and scarves. But the doctor kit never comes. When Frankie grows up, he moves away out of the hills. He lives in different places, and he meets different people of all different kinds of people, and he himself changes a little into a different kind of person. But deep in him, never changing, are his memories. And what he remembers most about being a boy in the hills is that just when it seemed his feet would freeze like a snow, a man on a train had brought him socks. Just when it seemed his fingers were hardening into ice, the man brought him mittens. And just when the cold wind was cutting sharp as a blade into his throat, the man brought him a scarf. And just when Frankie's ears were numb with red cold, the man brought him a hat. And Frankie remembers something about owing a debt. Wonder what he's going to do. So, a grown man who has been gone a very long time moves back into those same mountains to live. His brothers and sisters are still there, waiting for him. Looks like a nice little place to live, doesn't it? He returns to the hills where he has grown up, and that winter, near Christmas, he stands at the tracks watching the children wait for the train. And it comes, as always. The grown man watches the steam engine move toward him, watches the caboose roll by him, and he nearly runs after that train, so strong are his memories. This grown man nearly runs after a silver package. Uh-oh. Makes me worry about her. But instead, he watches a little girl chase that caboose. He watches a man in a wool coat toss her a sparkling silver package. He watches the gift land near the little girl's feet. He watches her running so fast that she trips on her silver package, and he watches her fall hard onto the ground. The grown man does run now, but not for the train, not for a rich man in a wool coat. He runs for the little girl. He picks her up, he wipes away her tears with the scarf from around his neck. He smiles at her. "It's okay, little one," he says easily. "The train's disappearing into the trees." He had meant to wave to the rich man, but there wasn't time now. He picks up the silver package and puts it into the little girl's arms. "You'll be all right," he tells her. "I'll make sure." He pulls open his kit to look for a Band-Aid. "My name's Frank," he said. "I'm a doctor." I hope you enjoyed Silver Packages. It's a good story about appreciating what you get and dreaming of big things. Have a great holiday season. Miss you guys. Bye.